YouTube channel, throughout social media. We will get you out here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in. It's the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's Denver Live Free Sports Picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Play. So let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, with us is Chris Ruffolo. Got Matt with us. And also will join us is Big Al McMordie. Mitch. It's Wednesdays with Mitch. Rod Zawacky, Wayne Scott, Brad Francis in today, and of course Dana Lane will sign in a little later. Here's how they'll line up for this evening. We've got Chris, we've got Mitch, McMordie, Fargo, Scott, Zawacky, Lane, Francis, then I will close this one out. All right, NBA on the board tonight. Looks like it'll be about 8 or 9 game card from the NBA Association tonight. Also lots of college hoops. Hockey on the board as well. So let's get this show underway. We got a full house tonight. Welcome in Chris Ruffolo. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring Chris in here in just a second. Of course, catch that morning show here during the week, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll be joined by Jay and Mitch. You'll also see some guest appearances with Kasi and as well as Ron Romanelli. But welcome Chris in. Chris, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. Just taking in all the games for tomorrow's card. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Yep, lots of action here as we're kind of winding down the regular season conference play in the for the big conferences here. And one tonight with Texas A&M and Mississippi State. Texas A&M here are going to be laying 2.5 at home, total 141.
Yeah, Tony, I'm a little bit angry at myself that I didn't have a little bit more on this one, or even have this one as a premium pick on Pick Dogs. But I like Mississippi State here. Texas A&M. This is a team that not that long ago was talked about to be a shoo-in for the NCAA tournament after their win over Tennessee. Then they lost 5 in a row. They lost to Alabama, Tennessee. There's no shame in those losses. Neither does South Carolina, but Vanderbilt and Arkansas. They got a win over Georgia. That's all well and good, but I think they're going to go back on the losing train here. Texas A&M, they're a decent team from a talent perspective, but last I checked, you got to be able to outscore the other team to be able to win a basketball game. And this Texas A&M team couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat offensively. I mean, 356 nationally in field goal percentage, 361st in three-point shooting, just inside the top 250 in free throw shooting. And, like I said, they're just not playing well offensively. And Mississippi State on defense, top 50 in field goal percentage defense, top 10 in three-point defense. Mississippi State, the far better offensive unit here. And they're also playing to solidify their spot in the NCAA tournament. Right now, they're an at-large bid as a 9 seed at the latest bracketology report. I think Texas A&M being favored at home is all well and good, but I think Mississippi State's the better team, playing better basketball. Give me the Bulldogs here.
All right, Chris says go ahead and take the Bulldogs here at plus 2.5 here against Texas A&M. A Texas A&M team, man, look at their past 5 games, just 35% shooting. Yeah, they defend. Yeah, they rebound. But I'm telling you, and your rebound, you only hit a third of your baskets. That's tough, man.
Yeah, it's hard to win games at that point. I mean, forget about, and I don't even know if that includes like offensive rebounds. But if you're just going one and done down the floor and you're not even getting your opponent's second chances, it's hard to win games when you're losing the rebound battle that badly.
Yeah, Chris here on Mississippi State here, plus the 2.5 here against Texas A&M. Tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do a bit of a rundown here. We do have a full crew tonight, but we'll do a rundown and go through some of the later games tonight, see if there's anything worth talking about at this late night hour here. There's a lot of big lines here. Boy, this one moved up. Northridge and Hawaii. This was 6.5 and now moved up to 7.5. I couldn't understand why.
Yeah, neither could I. I was on Northridge from the beginning, and I think I still am here. This is still a Northridge team that's done a great job of covering the number overall this season and on the road. Hawaii, I think they're just 5-10 against the number at home. I know that the trip to the island can be tough, but like I said, Northridge is no pushover, and I think that they can at least cover the number in this one.
Looking for him to at least cover the number. That's from Chris here in that late night game near midnight Eastern Time. We'll continue here. I'll look at some of the games here. Minnesota's had a pretty good home court, but Indiana's gotten some shot the ball well of late here. 5.5 here at home.
Yeah, it's hard for me to look past a team at 17-2 against the spread at home this season. Minnesota, they're not the best team in the Big Ten, but I phoned it in on Indiana weeks ago. This Hoosiers team isn't very good. Big Ten home court's usually the big angle and the strong angle to bet on. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with Minnesota.
All right, sticking with Minnesota, says Chris, will continue on here. Nice one in the Big 12 between BYU and Iowa State. Iowa State 7.
Yeah, I like Iowa State here. That defense at home is no joke. Iowa State just seems to step up their play at the Hilton Coliseum, and BYU a very 3-point dependent team, and that is an area where you can attack Iowa State's defenses on the perimeter. But BYU, a team that, like I said, shoots as many threes as they do, 3-point percentage has dropped off in conference play, and I think Iowa State gets the job done.
For Iowa State to get the job done, a lot of big lines here. This one, UConn Marquette. UConn here going to be laying 5 on the road, total 151.5.
Yeah, it's scary to go against UConn, but Shaka Smart in March in a revenge spot at home. I know Tyler Kolek is a big loss for Marquette here, but I got to think the Golden Eagles show up here and leave UConn a game here and challenge them a little bit. So give me Marquette plus the 5.
Marquette plus the 5, says Chris here. We'll continue here on this rundown as we get here to an interesting one tonight here. North Texas hosting FAU here, drawing some losses. A little nervous time for them. FAU laying 2 on the road. Total sits here at 137.
Yeah, it's a scary time for FAU right now, but I still think that they show up, and I think they understand the sense of urgency that has to be played with here. They understand these high-pressure situations. Right now, they're one of the last 4 buys that I can see at latest bracketology reports. So I think FAU steps up and plays here. They've been guilty of playing with their food at times this season, but I don't think tonight's one of those nights. North Texas, great defense, but another team that just struggles offensively, and I don't think FAU has an issue here.
Looking at FAU in that spot as we were going through this one. 7:30 Eastern Time, Butler and Xavier. We'll have coverage on this game a little bit later on, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And we'll have coverage on this game as well, and then we're going to get right into Mitch's game coming up here. Actually, let's stop. We'll get to this one. Houston UCF here. Houston going to lay 8.5. Total sits here at 133.
Yeah, I wanted to get on Houston so badly here because I love the Cougars and that defense, but they don't necessarily play their best on the road. So I like the under 133 here. 2 slow-paced teams. Last time we saw this matchup, it was really slow-paced. We only saw 99 points. I think we see a few more here tonight, but I think 133 is still a bit too high for my liking. I like the under here.
There you go from Chris. All right, we'll have Mitch coming up, cover the rest of the rundown here. On the show, we got the show pick here, Mississippi State plus 2.5 against Texas A&M tonight from Chris. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, we've got NBA on the board. Looks like a 9-game card. Lots of college hoops. We have action as well on the ice. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Tonight I got a $19 play for college hoops, or play of the day there. A play of the day for NBA for $25, and each of those I have a 5-pack for college hoops and NBA. Those plays of the day are also included in those 5-packs as well, but the best value, especially with conference tournaments here, hopping on a long-term pass. We got another loaded weekend ahead, so definitely check it out, and make sure you use that promo code PICK at checkout.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Chris Ruffolo over at Pick Dodge. No better time than now to get long-term, and the promo code PICK at checkout says 15% off. Right, Chris, as always, great having you show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you again next week, but of course, we catch your video series with around the link from the NHL, the video picks, as well as the morning show.
Yeah, tons of content, the daily videos, the wraparound for the NHL. Love what I'm doing here at Pick Dogs. Like I said, it's a busy time of year, but this is the kind of stuff we live for. And make sure, especially now, as the games are being announced, closer to game time, and with all the conference tournaments, make sure you have that notification bell hit to get notified when the new content drops.
That's right. Get that new content as it drops. We have a question in the chat. Mississippi State money line with the question mark.
I would do it. I would take Mississippi State. I'd split between the spread and the money line.
There you go from Chris. All right, Chris, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Sounds good, Tony. Take care.
You got it. Chris Ruffolo here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the show. Up next, we'll bring in Mitch. You'll catch Mitch over at Pick Dodge Rim. Catch him in the mornings here as he joins the crew here Monday through Friday. Also, he'll pop in on the weekends. We know Jay hosts the weekends. Mitch, what's going on?
Not much, Tony. Just midweek, but man, March is flying. Can you believe it's the 6th already?
Oh, I know. And then tomorrow,
Arch Madness. Believe it. Yeah, I know. And I mean, half these conference tournaments, there's teams that our seasons are already over.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. On Monday, the A-Sun has kicked it off, and it's been a dog A-Sun tournament. But tonight, we still got some work to be done in the big conferences here, as TCU will be on the road facing West Virginia. TCU road favorites 5.5, total 152.5.
Well, we saw TCU lay down like dogs last time at BYU. They got out to the big lead and got reeled in and run over by the Cougars in Provo. But I think, when we look at this one, we look at West Virginia and the success that they've had in any of the recent games. And it has been a tough year at West Virginia. I mean, we're not going to sit here and sugarcoat it and call it something that it's not, but there is a lot of talented players on this West Virginia team, and I don't think that we should discount that at all. Krisa is a guy that can certainly play with anybody, and Farrakhan as well. This team has been pretty strong. The thing that we've seen from these guys is that in the games where they've had recent success, and I'm not even talking about games that they won because those are just few and far between, but the games that they've had the recent success, and that was against Iowa State and the game against Kansas State, where they were getting big numbers, and of course they beat UCF, and then they covered against Iowa State, and covered at Kansas State, and in both of those games they were down 20 plus points. Both those games, they got to the lead, and both those games, they end up choking away. They lost the Kansas State game in overtime, but the Iowa State game, they lost in regulation, but they were getting 18 points in that game. They lost by 7. They had gotten to the lead from down 24 points in that game. And, the same thing in Kansas State. So you're up against a TCU team that just blew a giant lead, at BYU against a team that loves to come from way back in the parking lot and make it competitive. I think you go West Virginia, and I think if they're trailing big at halftime again, you in-game them the same way we did against Iowa State and Kansas State and double down on your money. Just about as easy as it gets. I mean, I don't think that TCU is anything special. Jamie Dixon's team's traditionally overrated and overstated and play those soft out-of-conference schedules, which kind of blow up their record. It's like they get into the Big Ten and they've been quite ordinary, losing 3 of their last 4 games, losing to BYU. Baylor is excusable, and losing it at Texas Tech by a point. So competitive, but certainly not like, blowing teams out by any stretch of the imagination. At Kansas State, winning by 3. So it's not like they're killing teams, and I think that that's all part of it. When they played out of conference, congratulations, you beat Georgetown and Arizona State. But when you played against the decent teams, Clemson and Nevada, you got stomped. And I think that's really the story here for TCU. They're not a very good team. They have an overstated record, and all the value here is on West Virginia in Morgantown, which is a tough place to play.
Mitch here on West Virginia plus 5.5 here against TCU. I know you didn't mention senior night. This will be the final regular season home game tonight for West Virginia. And you look at the shooting numbers here. West Virginia over the past 5, by far the better shooting team.
Yeah, these guys can play, and I'll tell you, they just have not been. They've not been given. They walked into a tough situation. Bob Huggins, it wasn't like they planned to get rid of him or anything like that. It was just one of those unfortunate things where, Bob Huggins was a ticking time bomb, and, the bomb eventually went off, and that's what happens. And it's like, so they didn't really have everything that they expected to have coming into the season. It doesn't mean that they don't have talent on this team. I mean, these guys, they are the better team, better shooting team of these two teams. Jamie Dixon's teams are soft, man. They're soft. I don't know if you heard me this morning talking about Celtic soft, but they're not as soft as that. But they are generally fairly soft.
Fairly soft. They're
no one's Celtic soft except for the Celtics.
Except for the Celtics, says Mitch. All right, Mitch. We'll continue the rundown here. LSU and Arkansas. Boy, I was hoping to get a better number on this one, but it moved up here. Arkansas laying 4, total 154.
It almost like they're begging you to take LSU. They don't have to beg me too much. Arkansas sucks this season. I got to say, for a guy that can recruit like he can, a Musselman, and the talent they have on this team, you want to talk about just a team that's lost the team, right? It's just these guys hate each other's guts. And, I mean, you could see it. This is just a team that the players just hate each other.
Possibly here, Villanova, Seton Hall, point, total 135.
I picked Villanova as one of my top 5 overrated teams in college basketball heading into Selection Sunday. I think that they'll probably get in on name recognition alone, but I don't think they deserve it. I think Seton Hall gets the win here. I think that, what we've seen from them, they have a coach that knows how to win in March too, in Holloway. This guy got it done. Remember him at St. Peter's and that run that he went on to land this Seton Hall job. this guy, I think Seton Hall is closer to being good than they are to not. They beat UConn earlier this season. If you could beat UConn, you sure as heck can beat this Villanova team. It's hard to believe that that you have a Villanova team that is like 240th ranked in shooting and 280th in 3-point shooting. And I don't know if those are the numbers. I'm just going off the top of my head, but I know they're in the bottom half of teams in the country, because you're used to seeing UConn. It's like they're shooting these threes and the net's not even moving, and it's like that's not the case with this team.
No, not at all. There we get a little bit of a rundown here from Mitch here on the show. Let's see if we got any other games. A lot of smaller conferences action. Of course, Loyola Chicago has been one of those good defensive teams, but they're giving up a point here on the road against Davidson.
Yeah, you just know that Loyola Chicago, when it gets to be this time of year, it's just not a place that you want to be against them. They still run that Porter Mosier style, and I think it's proved to be pretty effective. And it's normally when they've been counted out that they've always been at their best. So I don't know. Sister Jean is still alive. I think she's 150 or something.
I don't know this Davidson change in conference. I don't think it happened. We got to cover this one, right? With Miami hosting BC, you're Miami laying 6.
Well, in all fairness, my Canes just have not come up big this season, and I know we have the best excuses out there, of just about anybody. They've missed their 2 top players almost the entire season, at least the second half of the season, in Nigel Pack and Woogie Poplar. And both those, when both those guys were healthy, Miami was ranked in, one of the top teams in the country and beating all the big boys. So those guys are scheduled to possibly come back tonight and to warm up for the ACC tournament. And we know that Miami certainly has the firepower to hang with these guys in the ACC and beat them. They've done it before. These players have done it before. So, I while it hasn't been the season that we hoped for, I certainly haven't given hope on the Canes. I think if Poplar and Pack play, and the direction of the line certainly indicates that they will, because it's gone from 4.5 to 6, I could see Miami roughing them up something fierce by a dozen plus.
All right, we got Mitch here, our rundown cover for here in college hoops. His play tonight for the show, West Virginia plus 5.5 against TCU. All right, Mitch, let everybody know what's going over at Pick Dog Sports Chat Place as we're headed into March Madness.
I can tell you that, I've been at this game for a while, 16 years online, maybe 17, right? This is probably our 17th year online. And I've never seen a leaderboard, at least for the yearly leaders, this, almost a third of the way into the year with this many guys on the yearly. I mean, it's crazy. I've never seen NBA leaderboards like this long heading into, March. It's like everybody that's really actively, dialed in on a particular sport appears to be on a leaderboard at Pick Dogs. So it's easy to jump on a capper. I have to say another thing, and I say this all the time, and I've been saying it, for years, and I'll continue to say it again. With a lot of our guys, you might see them on the yearly leaderboard, but you might not see them on the weekly, right? Buy low.
Yeah. Like
you see Al McMordie have 2 or 3 bad days. Buy low, man. It's like I think Al, Al will say he had his worst baseball season he's had last year. I'm buying Al McMordie this baseball season. The last conversation I had with him, he was talking first 5 innings, so you could talk to him about that today if you want. But I honestly think that I always believe in buying low because I think our cappers are the best, and it's like they're going to play the back of their baseball card, so you're getting almost built-in value if you're starting in the negative. If that makes any sense. I mean, I don't mean you starting in the negative, but you're buying them at the negative, right? You're buying on the dip.
There you go, guys. So get on board, get signed up. All right, Mitch, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great evening, and we'll catch up with you again here on the drive-thru next week.
Thanks again, Tony. Thanks to everyone out there who tunes into our shows and our morning shows. And you're going to see a lot more videos from a lot of the guys that are on this show, short form and the regular style videos. And, Jovan's got his parlays going again out on the short form videos with Brad Francis is doing prop picks on there. I'm doing just random clips talking about, someone did an interview with me and chopped it up into shorts. And we're also doing a bunch of other stuff with that. We're going to continue to try everything and, see how fast everybody can try and copy us.
Exactly. All right, Mitch, have a great night. Mitch here on the drive.
Have a great night, Tony. Thank you.
You got Mitch here on the drive. Let's continue on. Time to bring in Big Al McMordie. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. First five for Big Al McMordie. We'll ask him. Big Al, what's happening?
Hey, Tony, I haven't even thought about baseball. I'm just worried about baseball and worried about basketball and even spring football more than baseball right now. So.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just that's where we're at right now. I just don't understand how people can get so caught up in the draft talk. It just drives me nuts here. But anyway, Big Al, that's another joke right now with some of the people out there. Bulls and Jazz going head to head here tonight. Bulls 3.5. We see the total coming in at 223.5.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Jazz are ravaged by injuries. That's why they're getting 3.5 at home tonight. But Tony, one of the things you just don't want to do is go against the Jazz as a home underdog. Over the last 10 seasons, they're an incredible 52-24 ATS as a home dog, including 11-5 ATS this season. They're also in that row at their best versus Eastern Conference teams, going 13-2 ATS. So all of that bodes well for the Jazz tonight. As does the fact that they won and covered against the Wizards their last time out, and Utah's 111-73 with 2 pushes off a point spread win, including 61-28 ATS at home. I'm all over Utah here as the home pup.
Big Al on the Jazz here, the home underdog here at plus 3.5. I always wondered how some of these Eastern Conference teams did in the elevation there in Denver and Utah. Have you ever looked into that?
I can. I've looked into teams generally, but you make a good point as far as the teams that only experience it once a year as opposed to, twice a year. So I can do a quick search of that just to see. My guess is it's not going to make a difference. I mean, they're NBA players.
NBA players that are in the line, and they know how to.
Let me just hold on a second.
All right.
So you just wanted to see how.
Eastern Conference did in high elevation cities like Utah. Or
I'm just going to look at Denver first.
Denver, okay.
So Eastern Conference teams are 227 and 246. So 47.9%. Now let's see if there's a difference with Western Conference. Western Conference teams slightly better, 5 games under, 445 and 450, so 49.7. So Eastern Conference teams 1% worse. I'll look at Utah.
Okay.
The Western Conference teams are horrible in Utah, 433, which also, because Utah's such a great home team. But anyway, Western Conference teams 433 and 515 for 45.6%.
Wow.
And see how Eastern Conference teams do. Eastern Conference teams also horrible. I mean, Utah's just like the best home team. So that's, the Eastern Conference teams are 222 and 256, 46.4. So that's not really a elevation thing. That's a Utah thing.
Utah thing. Okay, Utah thing there from Big Al. All right.
Because why would Utah be significant? Well, I mean, I don't know. But it's obviously Utah does better at home than Denver does.
There you go. Big Al McMordie here on the Jazz, plus 3.5 against the Bulls tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, Big Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium for tonight's action. Of course, on the board tonight, we have a 9-game card from the NBA. Lots of college hoops action on the ice. Big Al enjoying a great college basketball year. 3,408 units of profit. Top leaderboards here. College hoops having a fantastic year sports-wide. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I've got no hockey today. I've got 2 plays in the NBA, and I lost track how many college plays I have. I think I've got 5, maybe more. Hold on. I've got 6 college plays and 2 NBA plays, so 8 games total.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Big Al McMordie over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, remember, use that promo code PICK at checkout. Get that 15% off. You can also, when you look at that 1-month pass, which you'll get is all of Big Al's premium plays for 30 days. That includes the NCAAB tournament, conference tournaments as well as NBA hockey. And, of course, that'll be your coverage there with Big Al McMordie. Promo code PICK, remember, at checkout. Save that 15% off. And, Big Al, you also have your all access.
Yeah, folks can get down, 1 to 10 dimes a game and they don't mind the high volume, then just text Big out to 775-636-7676. You get everything I release. You also get additional plays beyond what's on the premium site, and all the games are rated 10 down through 1. And then if there's any other game you are interested about, you can just text me or call me 24/7, and I'll get you my opinion on that game.
That's right, guys. Get on board Big Al. Make that call or text. All right, Big Al, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you again next week. We always can catch up with you on the weekend shows, and your video series, your All Access.
Yeah. Are you going to be on the show Saturday, Tony?
Sunday.
You're going to go Sunday this week? Okay. I'll probably see you. I don't know if I'll see you on Sunday, but I might be Saturday this week. So but I'll talk to you on Wednesday since I'll miss tomorrow.
You got it. All right, Big Al McMordie.
Thanks,
You're on
Tony.
the drive-through. You got it. Big Al McMordie. Let's continue here on the drive-through. Up next, let's bring in Matt. Matt Fargo's ready to roll here. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring him in right now, making the second appearance here on the drive-through. Matt, what's going on? Oh, we lost your sound there, Matt. You're on mute. Oh, still got you on the mute there. See if we get that sound back. Maybe if you sign out, sign back in. Sometimes that will fix it. If you sign out, sign back in. Yep. So yeah, just sign out, sign. Usually that'll be the issue a lot of times with this system here. Sign out, sign back in. Matt will be taking a look here at the Xavier and this Butler game here for the Big East, the 7:30 start. We see here that Xavier is going to be the dog here. Earlier, I think it might have been, let's see, was it 3 earlier on in the day? I think it was, let's see, no, it opened 1, so there's been some movement here. So we have 2.5-point favorites now with Butler. There are some 2s out there, so if you do your line shopping, total coming in here at 157. We'll see if we get Matt here to back the sign in so we get some of his sound here. If not, we can come back to him because we do have Wayne up next here, college hoops action here. Let's see. There we go.
How are we looking now?
We're looking great now. All right, that'll happen sometimes. Yes, it was just the system.
It's always something, right?
Hopefully,
as Chris and Mitch brought up, the madness is here. Conference tournaments, big time start tomorrow afternoon. Action, best time of year.
Best time of year, guys. March Madness Conference tournaments now with the wall-to-wall coverage. Tomorrow it goes crazy with this early starts, but tonight we got business doing the big conferences. Xavier and Butler going head-to-head here. We see the Butler anywhere from 2 to 2.5. It's about split around the market, total 157.
Yeah, this opened up, I believe, at 1.5. It's gone up a little bit. I think it's a good late season spot for a team like Butler that, they were a fringe tournament team, and then they went through a 5-game losing streak. So they're not going to do anything unless they win the Big East. But their big problem was I think they're tied for second in the country with quad 1 games with 15, and they've gone 4-11 in those games. So they haven't been able to win against the elite competition. But they're 13-2 outside quad 1, and this game qualifies tonight against Xavier because Xavier's ranked 61 in net ranking. So. And one thing I tend not to put in analysis is free throw shooting, which I think is huge in college hoops. And Butler's 9th in the country at 78.9%. And they've shot 70% or higher in all but one game this year. So when it comes to short lines, if it is a close game late, that is a huge asset, I think. As far as the other side, Xavier's coming off a pair of wins against DePaul and Georgetown. Big deal, right? The 2 worst teams in the conference. And like Butler, they're horrible against quad 1 competition. They're 3-10. And because this is a road game and Butler's inside the top 75, this is a quad 1 game. And on the season, they've won 3 road games. And again, 2 of those were against Georgetown and DePaul. So I like the short price here with Butler. Final home game of the season. Regular season game, and it's at home. And I think it's a good smash spot for the Bulldogs.
All right, Matt says Butler here laying the 2 here against Xavier. Of course, it's also a revenge spot here for Butler. How much stock do you put into revenge here in college hoops?
I think it's a big deal, especially a game like this. This is a rivalry. Like, this goes back, I think, 3 conferences. So these teams hate each other. And I think Butler lost by 12 or 14 the first meeting. So, yeah, I mean, final home game, they want to take it to the Musketeers, no doubt about it.
There you go. Of course, Matt, with our audience here, we're good sound and audio and video today. Why don't you introduce yourself a little to the audience, let them know a little about your background. I know you've been around a while in this industry.
Yeah, I've been doing this this is my 20th year doing this, and it's turned into a way of life. Sports is my life right now. It's fun, it's great, it's busy, but I rely on what I do, and I've been doing it for as long as I do because I think I do a good job at it, and I take my clients first and foremost, and that's part of the big deal. I love everyone that has reached out to me, and just like you said earlier about which actually what Mitch said about you have 2 bad days, big deal. Long term, if you win, that's what counts. And over at Pick Dogs, it's been great. And so for tonight, I have 4 college hoops games, 1 NBA game, and going forward, it's going to be a big couple weeks coming up as far as the conference tournaments, and then March Madness coming in, starting early tomorrow, and let's sign up for a long-term deal and let's win together.
That's right, guys. Get aboard here. Matt Fargo over at Pick Dogs Premium. No better time than now to get that long-term pass. Remember that 30-day pass will get you much of the NCAA tournament, as well as all the conference tournaments and all those minor tournaments. Of course, don't forget about the NIT, CBI, CIT, all those tournaments. Right? There's money to be made there, especially.
Exactly. And use that promo code PICK to save yourself some money.
Save that money there with that promo code PICK and get signed up. All right, Matt. As always, great having you on the show. Have yourself a great evening, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
Awesome, Tony. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
You as well. Matt Fargo here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here. Up next, we're going to go over to Wayne Scott. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Bring him in right now. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony T? What's going on, Pick Dog family?
Things going great. All right, here we go. Tonight, we're going to look at this LSU and Arkansas game. Arkansas, covered last time against Kentucky. But Kentucky pulled away late and were able to win, but not cover, but still get a sizable win. Arkansas here laying 4, total 154.
Yes, sir. And Arkansas is working with revenge here at home and senior night. So I definitely understand why they're favorite. But we don't need LSU to win here. We need them to cover in the game that they played, where LSU got that win. They won 90-74 at home. LSU only 3-6 on the road, but they are 50% away. Underdogs going 4-4. On the other side of that, Arkansas, not too great at home, not too bad. They're above 500, but we're here to talk about the spread, where they are 4-7 as home favorites, only covering 36% of the time. Last time out, we seen Arkansas in a high-scoring match, as Tony just mentioned, against Kentucky, 102-111. But that was on the road. I'm at home, got a loss to Vanderbilt. On the other side, we see LSU, good, solid road wins, playing good, 4-1 in their last 5. They are playing basketball as a recent good road win against South Carolina. They also played Vanderbilt recently, and they didn't lose. They got the win on the road, 75-61. Also in that while they are 4-1 in their last 5, 2 wins against Kentucky and Georgia, 2 teams that are decent in the conference. LSU playing conference ball. LSU, strong 3-point shooting team versus Arkansas, which is a very bad 3-point defensive team. On the other offensive side, they struggle to shoot 3-point, mainly getting their points attacking the goal and getting to the line, free throw. But LSU does a good job in forcing you into bad shots. LSU, to me, is the better overall team. They got the rebound advantage, and I'm going to take the points here with LSU.
All right, take the points. You can find some 4.5s. We're seeing some split in the marketplace between 4 and 4.5s. So do your line shopping. Have more than one outs, guys. You guys know this already. There's a lot of sports betting is illegal in many states that you can have access to more than one book. So make sure you guys shop, get the best number. Yeah, there's been some this Arkansas team has been one that has just got everyone scratching their head. That home loss to UNC Greensboro early in the year, really, that may have been the warning flags coming out there. But one game that in particular that sticks out with me was, I think about 3 weeks ago, that home game against Tennessee at home, losing by 29.
Yeah, man, they're taking on some bad losses on the season, and it's not their offense; it's really their defense. On a nightly basis, they can give up a whole bunch of points. They're actually in their last three, they're giving up 89 points, and against the LSU team, it's not the greatest offensively, but they're not bad. Like I said, they can light you up from three, and they can get to the rim. So just Arkansas just makes it hard to back when you're playing that bad a defense against a balanced team like LSU, who's been coming along lately.
There we go with Wayne. Of course, we have a little bit of time constraints to do a full NBA rundown. Maybe I can just give you a few notable games tonight. We'll start here with this one between the Bucks and Warriors here. The Warriors 3.5 here, total 227. All eyes on Giannis in this one.
Yes, sir. Whether Giannis plays or not, I'm backing the Warriors. Just this is just more of a spot play and play off the team that's convincingly in the playoffs against a team that's trying to get to the playoffs. And just off top, I know Warriors play good against Eastern Conference teams. They're you have to worry about them a little more when they play Western Conference teams. Their conference just likes to play them tougher. But Warriors at home against the Eastern Conference team needing to get these wins. I'm back to Warriors here.
All right. We got Wayne liking to back the Warriors in this spot tonight here, in this one here. Tonight, it's going to be your doubleheader game over on ESPN. All right, let's continue down. We'll find another game for Wayne here on our rundown here for tonight here. Looking at some select games from the NBA. We won't time constraints to get the full card, but we'll get to some of them in here. We'll touch that one. This is a nice one. We're going to have coverage on this game a little later in the show. I will say that. So we'll continue here on the rundown. Look for a game that might be a little bit more competitive here, involving teams. This one's up there though. Clippers on the road, laying 6.5, total 222.5 here against the Rockets.
Yeah, man, this is a tricky one. Just being that the history of Clippers smashing the Rockets, but I like what I've seen from the Rockets last night. And we know that the Rockets continue to play good at home. Just seems like too many points for me. Even though I think the Clippers do win, but I think this is a 1-possession, 2-possession game at most. We're getting almost 3 to 4 possessions at 6.5. I'm going to take this Rockets team to come out scrappy, fight a little bit, and cover that spread.
All right, looking for some numbers here from Wayne. Let's go to this one here. Cavaliers and Hawks. This will be more competitive here. Hawks 2.5, total 216.5.
I'm riding with the Hawks, man. Just strictly based off of who Cleveland has playing and their injuries right now. Hawks, I keep continuing to say this, without Trae Young, this team has actually been playing defense. Nice solid win. That was my game of the day yesterday, and I think they come out and ball again today. Riding with the Hawks here.
All right, we got Wayne going to ride with the Hawks. We will have coverage in Kings and Lakers a little later in the show. Wayne on LSU plus 4.5 against Arkansas. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Print for nice action. NBA on the board, nice 9-game card. Lots of college hoops action on the ice. So Wayne has been on fire the last 7 days. 983 units of profit. All documented over at Pick Dodge Print. What do you have going over at the site?
Yeah, I have my 3-pack for college basketball and 3-pack for NBA, and I have my best bet in college basketball. Been rolling in college basketball as far as my best bet go. Dropped last night, so I absolutely love tonight's play. I'm looking to hammer that, and I want you guys to hammer it with me, so you can go over to the site and grab that. One play is not good enough. Grab those 3 packs, and you can also pair me up one of these fine handicappers that you see on this show. And we can get you some money. 2 heads better than 1, as my man Rod always said.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dodge Print. Great results over the last 7 days. So get on board with Wayne. You want to try out for 7 days. A lot of NBA on the board, college hoops, NHL, all these sports overlapping. No better time to get that long-term pass. Pick as a promo code. Save that 15% off. All right, Wayne, it's always great having you show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow. But also, everybody know that you've got a boxing video series here on Pick Dogs.
Yes, sir. This boxing video series will be dropping very soon with Ryan Garcia and Tank. And we got a bunch of heavyweight fights that I'll be breaking down and dropping. The odds are not too bad. A lot of time in boxing it's hard to find good odds because you got the champions going against certain contenders or lower level contenders. But when you have guys fighting in the top 5, top 10, the odds are a lot better, and we are starting to get more competitive boxing where these guys are meeting up to fight each other. So makes boxing a lot more fun when you can bet on a fight with good odds. And I'll be looking forward to dropping those predictions for you guys.
That's right, guys. So make sure you just like, subscribe, set these notifications so when Wayne drops these videos, you get them in real time. All right, Wayne, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
All right, Tony T, appreciate you for having me, and see you guys tomorrow. Good luck with all your bets tonight, Pick Dog family.
As well, Wayne Scott here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on. Up next, we've got Rod Zawacky. Catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. Action on the ice here from Rod. He's been really good to us. So we'll be set to go here with Rod Zawacky here in a little bit as we get his game up here for you here on the board. Rod, what's happening?
Nah, not too much, Tony. Loaded NHL card, so busy day. Shooting some videos and getting ready for tonight's action. And March Madness right around the corner, so yep. We're into March and things are starting to heat up. So get excited. Lots of, as Big Al says, I'm glancing at baseball. Let's put it that way. But deep diving baseball, no. March Madness is ahead. Well, you got to go in order. You mess everything all up if you start to try to deep dive baseball mid-March Madness. Yeah, not happening.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen from Rod.
You got 160-something games in baseball. We got plenty of time to make some money in baseball. It's March. Let's make some money in March Madness.
Absolutely. All right. We go to the ice tonight with Rod. Senators and Ducks going head-to-head out in SoCal. Rainy SoCal tonight. Senators big favorites, $1.95, total 6.5.
Yeah, Senators big favorites in this one. They don't even know who's starting in goal. You got issues with Korpisalo. He's got injury issues and might not even. He's most likely not going to start this one. So who's going to start? Well, Antoine Forsberg, he's under the weather and not feeling well. So who's left? Well, they got Matt Sogard for the AHL. They still haven't confirmed who's starting for the Senators in this one. So it might be Matt Sogard getting the start. But anyways, the Ducks going to start Lucas Dostal, and he faced off against the Senators earlier this season. And the Ducks got the win 5-1. He played good and held down these Senators. And you look, the Ducks, they just traded 2 top centermen away. So no Heinrich, no Carrick for the Ducks in this one. So there goes some offensive firepower for these Ducks to score some goals. And then if you look at the injury list on this side, Kachuk's supposed to check in for this game, but he's down at 100% with an upper body injury. And as I said, the Ducks, McTavish, he's out. So Carlson out. Their goalie Gibson out. Illness. It's a mash unit for both of these teams. So getting 6-7 goals to beat us, no chance. You look head to head between these two teams, and that's when everybody's full healthy in this lineup. It's 9-1 to the under. I don't see a whole lot of goals in this one. Take the under 6.5 at this plus money. Seems like a gift.
Rod here, under 6.5 here, Senators and the Ducks. Yeah, this Ducks team has just been really, really hard to watch out here. Where they can't, averaging less than averaging 2.5 goals a game at home. It just hasn't been. It's been like this for some time out here in Anaheim.
It has been, right? You have those down years, as we've said, and it's one of those down years where the Ducks are just. If you don't score enough goals, you don't win games. So. As you see, when they do win games, they get 4 goals and 6 goals. And when they lose games, it's 1 goal, 2 goals, 2 goals, 1 goal, 2 goals, no goals. But Ottawa on the side of the puck, their losses have come 2 goals, 1 goal, 3 goals. They're not scoring goals either. So both these teams have been struggling mightily. And the Senators on the road, only 8 regulation wins all season long on the road for Ottawa. I like the under as a play. Take a coin flip on this one. I said the Senators in the video just because I think the Ducks here, it's a tough spot. First half of a back-to-back for the Senators as well. But yeah, I like the under. Take the under. 6.5. And they're giving us plus money. Love it.
Rod, Senators, Ducks under 6.5. This one have a start time here of 10 Eastern time. All right, Rod, take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, lots of NBA, 9 games on the board. Hockey on the board tonight. 3-game card, big one tomorrow. Lots of college hoops, even more tomorrow. Great results in college hoops for Rod. 835 units of profit. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
And as I said yesterday, college hoops has been right at the forefront. We went 3-1 yesterday in college hoops, 3 straight winning days, 70 and 47 the last 117 college hoops. So I got another 3-pack tonight, college basketball. Scoop that up. I also have one play on the NHL, my NHL sniper play. You can scoop it up separately, but better deal now is March Madness is here. Grab a March Madness pass. You'll get everything I got going in these conference tournaments, plus the big dance. It'll get you right to the final cutting of the net. $240 is the cost. Use that promo code PICK at checkout. You get about 30 something off. Costs about $200. Cheaper than buying a month pass, and you'll get every college play I've got going. And you can see we've just been climbing up the leaderboard, college hoops. And we're going to continue to do that right into March Madness. So stacking the money in college hoops, that's what we're focused on, and we've been making the money. So jump aboard. And as my buddy Wayne said before that, take advantage of that 2-for-1 capper promotional. Can't go wrong with that. Even 2, 3. If you look, I looked over the last 30 days. Who's the hottest in college hoops? There's about 5 of us that are well up over 1,500 units in college hoops, crushing the book. So take advantage of like the 5-pack and pair all 5 with something. Enjoy your March Madness.
No better time
Stack
than now.
in your pocket. Get ready for a nice summer vacation. Make March Madness pay for it all.
Exactly right, guys. You get this long-term passes. Remember, 30-day pass, you get to pretty much made it all of March Madness, minor tournaments as well as those conference tournaments, and a week of baseball in there as well. All right, Rod, any bonus for today?
And for me, bonus, I got an anytime goal scorer, Tage Thompson. He didn't get traded from the Buffalo Sabres, and I think we see a whole bunch of goals in that one tonight, the Leafs and Buffalo. Those two teams, when they get at it, we've seen combined 22 goals in the first 2 meetings between those two teams, head-to-head, and that's only in 2 meetings. So that's an average of 11 goals a game. Tage Thompson can get us one at 2 times our money on that one. Take Tage Thompson anytime goal.
Anytime goal there from Rod Zawacky. All right, Rod. Let everybody know about your video series. 3 games tonight, but we got a big game, a big card tomorrow with your NHL as you go A to Z, every game on the board. And a parlay.
Yeah, definitely like, subscribe, and flip on that notification bell where you get notified when all those videos drop, all the content at Big Dogs. Got you covered on every hockey game going, all archived. If you're looking for a game and wondering who's in what, definitely go check out those hockey videos. Can't go wrong with those as well. And there's a parlay video as well. Love tomorrow's as well, so definitely go check those out. They'll be up momentarily. But if you're still looking for today's, there's still the 3 up there today.
That's right.
Out, so definitely.
Yeah, we got 3 later games starting. There's 2 later this evening tonight. All right,
2 later
Rod,
ones.
2 later ones. All right, Rod. Have a great night. I know you got a lot of videos to do. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
You have yourself a good one, Tony. I'll catch you on Steak Friday.
Steak Friday, that's right.
Tomorrow.
All right, Steak Friday. He'll be busy. That's right.
March is just rolling right
I
on
know.
through.
It's rolling on
right
through.
Exactly.
Lots
We'll
going
see you
on.
Friday, Tony.
See you on Friday. Steak
Have a
Friday.
good one.
You as well. Rod Zawacky here on the drive. Let's continue on here, guys. We'll recap if you missed any picks. Let's go in and bring in Brad Francis as a fill-in today. We'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Brad has put up some monster numbers over at Pick Dogs. Hope you guys have been checking out also his video series. Brad, what's going on?
Tony T, how are we doing today?
Doing great. All right, here we go. Tonight, Kings and Lakers going head-to-head here. Important in the jockeying in positions here in this playoff standing or play-in standing as well. Lakers 2.5, total 240.
Yeah, I'd like this spot for the Kings. I'm actually going to take them on the money line. I think you can get some good value against the Kings as an underdog in this spot. They've been a pesky team on the road all season. They come into this one 8-15 straight up and 9-13-1 ATS on the road this season. They get De'Aaron Fox back in the lineup, so I expect their offense to be back to firing on all cylinders. And when it comes to Lakers, they've been playing some good basketball as of late, but one thing about this Lakers team the last couple of years, right when you think they're playing good, they'll let you down. For some reason, it's tough for this team to put together a long stretch of wins. So, yeah, we've seen this Kings team beat this Lakers team twice this season already. They're definitely capable of doing that. And the fact that you could get them at plus odds where they've played good basketball on the road, I think there's some good value there. So give me the Kings on the money line.
Kings money line here from Brad Francis. Yeah, this Lakers team up and down, up and down, up and down. Who knows where they're going to fall? Right now, they're looking at a play-in round here in the 9-10 game, which is just a spot you don't want to be in. But again, with this Lakers team, some of the teams are falling back to them, but the question is, can they get up and get enough ground? Lakers and Kings are tied in the win column right now, so they're not too far away from trying to get out of that cellar for the play-in.
Yeah, and I think the Lakers will be fine when it comes to the postseason, just like we saw last year. when it comes to the regular season, I mean, we saw him pick up a win against OKC. It's classic just to fade him that next game. It's tough for this team to put together a good stretch of wins. So yeah, like I said, I think they'll be good in the playoffs. I think they'll advance through a couple rounds. Not saying they'll win it all, but in the regular season, I'm always looking to fade the Los Angeles Lakers.
All right, here we go. Brad Friends on the Kings money line tonight, 10:30 Eastern time. All right, Brad, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. NBA on the board, 9-game card, hockey, lots of hoops. Brad enjoyed a great year, 1,902 units of profit for the year over at Pick Dogs. What do you have going over at the site?
Yeah, we've been really hot lately. So yeah, I'm ready to keep the momentum going. I got a 3-pack tonight. My favorite NBA play, and then 2 college basketball picks. It's March, so it's time to fire off before baseball season. Let's get our bankroll up. It's a good time to hop on something long term. Like I said, I'm hot right now. This is a good time to join.
That's right, guys. Got to work with Brad Friends over at Pick Dogs. 1,902 units of profit, showing great profit the last 30 days, last 7 days. Yesterday, a big day from Brad. No better time to get on board. Great years in the sports that we're documenting right now. NBA college hoops been fantastic. Long-term pass is the way to go. Get on board with Brad Francis. Pick is a promo code. Save that 15% off. All right, Brad, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you again next week. But let everybody know about your video series here with the parlays.
Yes, sir. Yep, doing the parlay videos every day, so go check that out on Pick Dogs YouTube. I drop them before the day of the games. And yeah, we've been hitting them. I love doing them, and I appreciate everyone that's been watching. So I would love to get some new viewers on those. So yeah, go check those out.
Like, subscribe, set those notifications. When Brad drops these videos, you get them right away. All right, Brad, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Good luck tonight.
You as well. Brad Francis here on the drive-thru. Guys, you missed a pick. We'll recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. My game will begin in a few minutes. I like South Carolina here at the plus price against Tennessee. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. Dana Lane up next. He has been crushing the books this year. Dana, what's happening?
Hey, Tony, how you doing? Well, lots of stuff happening in the NHL and drawings of potential Oakland A's stadiums.
Oh, goodness.
UNLV making a run. I mean, Vegas is hot right now, so there's a lot going on.
That was a big game last night there. Twitter was exploding with these UNLV fans coming out of their closets. Hey,
I got to tell you, Tony, I mean, we still go back to that loss to Air Force, and if that did not happen, I mean, this team would be in a much different spot. And we also know that going into the Mountain West Conference tournament, it's the hot team that wins. I mean, you tell me, one of the bottom teams is going to make it to the conference championship game, and I wouldn't even blink an eye at that statement. It's really an incredible conference, and people are acting like this is this brand new phenomenon that happened, but really this conference tournament has been fantastic for years. I'm very much looking forward to it, and the Rebels really are peaking at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterfinals are, it's so competitive. Even the quarters. I know the semis are great in all conferences, but the quarterfinals are so competitive there. When you look at the matchups, they're amazing. But we go to the icing out on TNT here, Red Wings and Avalanche here. We see the Avs laying $1.82, total 6.5.
Yeah, this is a very tricky time of the year because, as we know, the trade deadline is Friday, 3 o'clock Eastern time, 12 Pacific. And this is a very difficult time when you're betting hockey because we think, and again, thinking always gets us in trouble, but when teams are making big splashes and they're bringing big names in, we think it's automatic to jump on these teams. And there's a lot of, going back to the word psychology, there's a lot of psychology involved. And we know that Joe Sakic has already been involved in player movements, and so acquiring Sean Walker from Philadelphia, and of course got Casey Middlestat from Buffalo. It takes a while to get these guys acclimated to the lineup. And I don't mean it takes a while offensively. I think it takes a while for them defensively, because so much in the NHL playing well defensively is knowing where everybody is on the ice and being familiar, especially when you're a defenseman as Walker is, just being familiar. And I think you find a lot more open ice right before the deadline or after a deal. And I think we're going to see the same thing here. And then, on the flip side, offensively, especially from Detroit, where Steve Yzerman has not made any moves yet, but guys like David Perron is in the locker room saying, hey, look, guys, we got a couple days before the trade deadline. If you don't want to get traded, we need our A game. So I think that creates a very much of a high-paced affair in most NHL games at this time of year, and especially when we're talking about an Avalanche team that typically is an over team. So I do like the over in this game, and there is a lot on the line. I mean, almost every night, Tony, you could point to every matchup in the NHL and say, well, that's a big matchup, and certainly this one is too. Even though Dylan Larkin is out for a couple of weeks for Detroit, I still think Detroit's going to be able to do their part in pushing this game over.
All right, Dana here, Red Wings, Avalanche over 6.5 tonight. We'll talk more about this game in a second. We're hitting the witching hour. Dana Lane, what should everybody know what you got going over at Pick Dogs Premium? He's been on a tear here, 3,275 units of profit here for this year. It's been absolutely amazing, great performance here from Dana, showing great results here on his documented plays here over at Pick Dogs Premium. All the plays documented, NBA, college hoops have been on fire. What do you have going over at the site?
Yeah, very thankful for the start, and thank you for all the people that put their money behind me. But tonight, we still got plenty going on. 2 games in college basketball are up, absolutely crushing it in the NBA, 2 games in the NBA, and, of course, 2 games left in the NHL. We have a 3-pack up there every day in college basketball and the NBA and the NHL. Get involved with those, and then I can't encourage you enough to join me for those all-access passes that give you every single one of my plays for 30 days, 90 days, 60 days. There's an annual pass, whatever is best for you, but just make sure you get involved so you never miss a best bet winner again.
That's right, guys. Going to go with Dana Lane over at Pick Dogs Premium. 3,275 units of profit for the year, showing great results. Last 30 days has been on a tear. No better time to get that long-term passes. Dana has quite a few up there. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. All right, getting back to this one here. Yeah, as you mentioned here, we're getting closer and closer here to the postseason here. As of course the Avalanche, a team that 38 wins there is pretty good amongst. I guess you can put one of the favorites to get on board here. What's your thoughts here of Detroit here moving forward here as this is a team that some saw as one that could have a success, but man, 33 wins so far.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot, Tony, because if you're Steve Yzerman, kind of the same spot as they are in Philadelphia at this point, because Philly's hanging on to a spot, but I just don't think that they're ready yet. But especially so much so more in Detroit. I mean, they're tied right now with Tampa Bay for that last wild card spot, and I just don't think that they're ready. So if you're Steve Yzerman, I mean, do you make deals that are going to bolster your team for the playoff run, knowing that's probably not it? I'm not going to give things away right now to make this run when next year might be a more realistic run. Or do I, sit back and, am I happy with the team that I have? And then when Dylan Larkin comes back, certainly that will be a boost as well. They're not there yet for me, Tony. I don't think you go all in and try to, make blockbuster deals, which they definitely will not. Yzerman was kind of in the same boat in Tampa at times, but I think they might make some, lower level moves that certainly will bolster their depth, but they're just not ready. And I don't think we're going to see Detroit make a move that makes everybody say, wow, that's, they're not going to be involved with Noah Hannafin, and they're not going to be involved with Jake Gensel.
Hannafin was just traded to the Golden Knights. It's breaking right now.
Right now, that is amazing that you said that, because I just got a text from somebody that said that it's going to happen within an hour or two, and I did not, didn't throw that out there. But that's really interesting, because Noah Hannafin going over to the Knights, I would say that they're probably not going to be in on Jake Gensel now. But hey, look, I cannot wait to see him tomorrow night against Vancouver. I mean, that is going to be an intense hockey game. But good for Vegas. They do this every time, and this is one of the reasons why this city is in love with this team. It is always going towards the cup and moving towards the cup, and getting Hannafin is a massive deal, and also getting Mantha is a big deal too. You just added a 20-goal scorer to your lineup, and if Mark Stone can come back for the postseason, which everybody thinks it's circumventing the cap, but the fact of the matter is, I know for a fact he was hurt, and I know for a fact that Jack Eichel was hurt, because I saw him crawl off the ice. So a lot of moves.
A
lot of people think What's that?
No, Tarasenko now Panther. Yeah, a lot of moves coming in right now as we're approaching the trading deadline. More exciting than the NBA this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe I'm partial, Tony, but the trade deadline in the NHL is as good as it is in sports. I mean, It is really something that can make or break or win a championship for you. I don't think there's those, maybe, a few massive deals in the NBA, but boy, everybody is rushing to the foreground to try to win a cup. And, with Tarasenko going to Florida, I mean, I have the Panthers ranked the top team in the NHL right now anyway, and that was before Tarasenko went there. That is a massive trade, and if I'm Don Sweeney in Boston, that's going to really force my hand a little bit because really they're not as good as Florida right now.
Ottawa getting third or fourth round picks, so no players exchange there for the Panthers. They get Yep. There you roll.
Well, you get this time of year too, Tony, where teams are looking to shed cap space, and that's why you're getting a lot of these deals that you get big names for lower round picks because teams are just looking to the future and trying to free up their cap space. Or in Gensel's case, he's going to be a UFA next year.
There you go. All right. We got you guys know what Dana has for sale over at Pick Dogs. Get signed up. But Dana, also your video series has been very successful against the public betting. That's available over at Pick Dogs. Did you release that?
Yeah, absolute pleasure to do every day. It's fun. I appreciate all the feedback by the people who have really helped continue to get that show rolling. And basically, we try to look at games that the public is on, and we try to go the other way. Not always, because I want to. My main focus is to throw out winners, but we get that up the night before, at the latest early in the morning. But it's been awesome, and really, hopefully, we've had a lot of success on that. We've had 10 winning shows in the last 14 days, so hopefully everybody's been able to tail and make some money.
Like, subscribe, set those notifications, so when Dana drops those videos, you get them right away. All right, Dana, have yourself a great night. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, Tony, have a great weekend. Thanks for having me.
You as well. Dana Lane here on The Drive. Let's continue here on The Drive. Let's get right to the recap. You got my pick early here as we got to start here at the top of the hour, and we'll recap it. As I go to the recap, guys, remember, put your show picks or your best bets in the chat, and we'll read them here at the end of the show. Get those best bets and the show pick into the chat. All right, let's get the recap for you. Chris like Mississippi State plus 2.5 against Texas A&M. Mitch was on West Virginia plus the 5.5 against TCU. Big on McMordie Jazz plus 3.5 against the Bulls. Matt was on Butler, lay the 2 against Xavier. Wayne liked LSU plus 4.5 against Arkansas. Rod Senators Ducks under 6.5. Dana on Red Wings Avalanche over 6.5. Brad Francis, the Sacramento Kings money line against the Lakers. We've got yours truly here, South Carolina plus 6 against Tennessee. The one of these that I like the most here, boy, I like a lot of them here. I'll go with the Big Al with that. Which one did I like the most here today? That's a real good question here. Let me see if some of them already started, right? We're hit the top of them. We'll go here with the West Virginia with Mitch. That's the one I like the most, West Virginia. All right, get those best bets in the chat, guys. That's going to do it for this edition of The Drive-Thru. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. Bring in our cappers from Pick Dogs Sports Chat Place. We'll get their plays in real time. Remember, always get start with that morning show. We're live here at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We got Mitch. We got Chris. We got Jay, also guest appearances throughout the week from Ron Romanelli and Costi on the show. Don't forget our great video series, Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes, betting tools shows, his roundtable discussion with professionals. Also, Jay's Jam Session NBA. He's also the weekend host on the morning. We've got Chris with his pick videos, overnight videos, night before. Also, he's got his NHL Around the League. Rod Zawacky, NHL A to Z, every game on the board from Rod Zawacky, as well as a parlay. Also, we got the shorts video series here from Javon with parlays, as well as Brad Francis with those parlays. Mills with the UFC rundown. Got some fight picks up there. Check those out, as well as his prop shop for you. Also, Big Al McMordie is all access. Costi sharp trading plays. We've got against the public betting here with Dana Lane. We just visited with Dana just a second ago. Also, Brian Bittler, a contrarian sharp plays from Brian Bittler, Mr. Contrarian, coming in with his video series. Ron Romanelli, bank shot breakdown from the NBA. More and more video series here on the channel, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications, get them in real time as they drop. And of course, don't forget our boxing video series from Wayne Scott. So we got about the entire crew. Let me see if I missed it. Did I miss any of them? Doesn't look like I missed any yet. Maybe we'll get Matt Fargo in one of them. Maybe so. We'll see what happens. Matt made his second show appearance here on the drive-thru. All right, we got the recap. Let's get to the best bets. All right, show picks from the chat. Blake on Marquette +5. Iowa first half Wizards +7 from, and Lakers -2.5 here from Blake. Also, Ron Crawford, Texas A&M Corpus Christi, laying the 12.5. That's a show pick here from Ron Crawford. Also up there, our man Chris White Thunder has been good to us here on the chat. He likes the Utah State laying the 10. Nick Clan coming in with the Ducks in this game. And let's see what else we have. Any of the best bets coming in. Bucks from Bacon. Warriors from Gavin Fensky in there as well. A smash spot for the Warriors, say Gavin Fensky as well. We've got, let's see any more coming in. We'll keep look. Guys, your last call for your best bets. Get them in right now. Chris Brady likes Sabres team total over 2.5 goals. That is from Chris Brady today. All right, let's see if we have any more best bets. Your last call for the best bets. We got James Thrower coming in with the Sixers minus the 4 from James Thrower. Last call. We got them all in. All right, that's going to do it here for the drive-thru, guys. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew back again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's bring in our crew from tonight at a full